I don't know why, but this is my favorite room in the RPD. Well, I guess I do know why, and I can explain it.
Ink ribbon.
So on my Discord, there is a suggestion box channel, and I do lurk on my own Discord, and every now and then I'll see stuff. But there was one that I was like, okay, I got to do that, and that was by Resident Evil fan, of course. I would love to see favorite locations in Resident Evil games and what was memorable, and I was like, man, there's like a lot. But I realized the rooms that I liked are probably weird to most people, so I feel like I need to explain myself. So I'm just gonna do the first three games, and we're gonna look at some rooms that I love. My favorite thing as a content creator about the Biorand is that I can teleport to any room. You guys have no idea how much I film where I just need footage of like one room and I have to play through the whole game, and now I could just teleport. Oh, okay. Dressing room is what it's called, but this room. I especially like this room in the remake. Huh. I It's weird in my head. I guess I know the remake better than the original, but regardless, I love this room. No, you know what? I'm gonna switch over to the remake. Okay, here we go. This is the room that, for some reason, maybe it's because of my art background, but I really, really like it. Although it's not as cozy. In the original, there was like a place to sit, and here there's just a creepy chair in the corner. And I don't know, all of these are real art pieces, by the way. If you watched my Resident Evil 1 Secrets and Easter Eggs, I did a whole video about every single one of these pieces that are noteworthy, and I don't know, this room is just, it's interesting, you know? I don't remember this weird experimental vial thing, but hey, that's right on brand for the Umbrella Corporation. So yeah, I like this room. It's kind of a place that I would probably catch my breath if I was in the Spencer Mansion, where I'd be like, okay. So not much else to say. Let's move on to my next favorite room in Resident Evil 1. Now, here's a room that I really, really like. Again, it's cozy, and it's a place that in all of this terror and monsters and everything, you have a place to sit down and catch your breath. And fun fact, this room was more or less recreated in Code Veronica. When you're playing as Claire right before fighting Steve, there's a room that looks so similar to this. And it even has the broken shotgun mechanic, except I think it might be with a grenade launcher. I can't remember, but yeah, aside from the death trap right outside the door, I think it's a nice room. You know, light a fire, there's probably a glass of scotch you could pour yourself, or some tea. I guess there's a tea set right there. See, I just want Jill to sit down and be like, ah. You know, I could see someone taking a nap in here. Like, if you got trapped in the mansion, this is probably a good place to chill. But yeah, this room, I can't really tell you why I like it, I just do. By the way, if any of these, like, resonate with you, please let me know in the comments so I know I'm not the only one. And while this isn't my favorite room, this description right here, I think it's resonated with so many Resident Evil fans. Like, this one right here, the warm light makes you relax. Like, it's little touches like that of descriptors in the environment that can make all the difference in the world, because I don't know if it's like a placebo effect or what, but yeah, the warm light does help me relax. Wow. In my mind, this is not what Resident Evil 1 looks like. I guess I'm more unfamiliar with 1 than I thought. Okay, I gotta switch over to the remake for this. Jill! Okay, and this is the last room that I wanted to mention, is the bar. I'm not sure. Well, let me get rid of some spiders so we can properly look at this environment. Wow, one of the spider's legs landed way over here. Okay, so there's a lot in here. I think that's one of the reasons I like it, but I mean, this is where you would party till the end of days. And I think that's one of the reasons that I like it. It's very hang out with your bros. I mean, you got this arm wrestling poster, and you got obviously a bar. You can see it's messy. There's no one who has really like cleaned up after themselves. Although, if you remember, some of the files indicate that a lot of these employees that were like the last to die actually survived in the mansion for over a month. So this may be their cigarettes and drink bottles that are everywhere. They were just doing what they had to do. I don't know that for sure. I don't remember where that file is found, but I mean, you'd have to eat and drink, you know. Then up here you got the pool table, you got darts, you got all these sexy lady posters, there's a guitar. I mean, this feels like there's a lot of environmental storytelling here, and you know, it's just nicely decorated. Like, there's a lot going on here, and it's very comforting or soothing or whatever. I don't know. Like, I could see Chris and Barry hanging out here. Oh, there's another dartboard. There's a record player with some speakers. Yeah, I don't know. This is a nice room. It's a little dusty, as you can tell by Jill's footprints. Probably needs a little bit of cleaning. I guess that's one thing about this room. It is a little too dirty. It's like a frat house. But, you know, a little bit of cleaning. It'd be a nice, fun place to hang out. What I want to know is all these evidence of posters that were there and then now they're not. Like, and then all that. Like, this looks like someone was covering something up with all these random posters. I mean, you got posters on top of posters. That's weird. By the way, I will never partake in an arm wrestling contest ever again because I've seen multiple videos where people break their arms while arm wrestling. No thank you. Also, I love these candles. Like, I don't have the lighter in my inventory. But, like, I don't know if you remember in the 2000s, they had, like, gel candles for a while, and they were, like, really cool, but they would, like, burn out so fast compared to wax. That's probably why they don't use them anymore, but they looked really cool. Alright, well, that's all I have to say about this room. Let's move on to Resident Evil 2. Okay, obviously, the main hall is iconic and all that stuff, but this is what this whole video ended up, like, coming to. I don't know why, but this is my favorite room in the RPD. Well, I guess I do know why, and I can explain it. First of all, this is the waiting room, which there are actually two waiting rooms. There's also one upstairs, if you recall. But for some reason, this room has always just stood out to me. I know it's dumb, but I've mentioned a couple times when I can't sleep, I close my eyes and I just imagine walking around in the RPD. This was before we had Resident Evil 2 Remake, so, you know, it wasn't in 3D yet. And I would always stop by this room. And I think my theory is, see this bench right here? I know it doesn't look like the most comfortable bench, but it's a place to sit down and catch your breath. And I thought about it, and there's not really a lot of places in the RPD to sit down. I mean, there's a lot of like office chairs, but there's not like public places to sit down, because sitting in someone's office chair at their desk is weird. Like, it's not like relaxing or comforting. I feel like I'm not supposed to be doing this. It's illegal. The only other place I can think of that has seating is outside of the STARS room. Yeah, so this is the only other place I can think of where there's a bench, but as you can see by all the handcuffs and the fact it's right around the corner from the STARS room, it's not really like a place you want to be sitting, you know? Like, like this is where they hold people while they like file paperwork to get them incarcerated, and yeah. Well, you can access the alley from the demo. The alley in the demo version is a little different. When you come over here, there's no van. Instead, there's a dumpster you can climb over. And it leads to this area. Wow. In case you guys didn't know that. But anyway, so this pillar thing, I don't know what it is, but I like it. My favorite depiction of this room is in Resident Evil Outbreak, I think. They decorated it a little more, and there's like the zoo guy who's just kind of chilling there. Oh no, I think he's the canine unit guy. Yeah, and that's before everything goes to hell. And also, at these windows over here, this actually looks into the office where you find Marvin. And this is where like people would get in line when they're like, I have to file a complaint or someone stole my bike. And I just like to imagine the citizens of like Raccoon City being here, kind of like what we saw in during the storm, before the storm, whatever, that amazing mod that unfortunately was canceled. Just seeing people in the RPD, like that's always how I've imagined it. And I really, really like that. I don't know. There's something about this room that has always just spoken to me. If you guys have a room that is like, I guess, boring, but you love it, please let me know. Because like, it's like, is it just me? I feel weird. Now, I know I said there's not really a lot of seating. This is another room, kind of like the bar in Resident Evil 1, where there's places to sit. Like here, there's like bottles of water and there's food and, you know, all that stuff. Now, the beds would be nice if there wasn't a dead officer who has had his throat and abdomen torn out laying right next to them. I'm sure it probably smells horrible in here because of him. But if he was removed from the room, then having like beds to like lay in would probably be very, very nice. Even just to like, you know, catch a quick nap, and you're in an area that's more or less secure and you can just do what you got to do. Plus, this is where the Desert Eagle is, which is my favorite weapon in all of Resident Evil. So I like this room very much as well. And look, more sexy girl posters. I don't know what it says about me that I like rooms where there's drinks and sexy girl posters and places to sit. Like, it's very not Resident Evil. But hey, I'm making the video that was requested. These are the rooms that stand out to me. And obviously, just for the lore alone, we have the STARS room, which there's so much to unpack here. I could make a whole video. Actually, that's not a bad idea. A whole video just hyper-analyzing certain rooms that have like a lot. One of my proudest ink ribbon moments was when I realized that there was an emblem from the mansion in this box right by Leon's feet. That gold emblem right there. Like, My favorite thing about making videos is when I find something and I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't know that, because I know that you guys will have that reaction too. So that was a very proud one for me. But, you know, we got Chris's desk and Jill's desk and Barry's desk and everybody's desk, and it's fun. Yeah, I could do a whole video on this room. It's too obvious, so we're going to move on. Now, maybe it's the music, maybe it's something else, but I love the tram, both inside the tram, which another proud ink ribbon accomplishment was when I realized that this was a bathroom. It's the only bathroom in the entire game. For years, we all thought there was no bathroom in Resident Evil 2, but there you go, that's a toilet. But coming out here, this whole area, I mean, the music, the atmosphere, you see like the chemical plant in the background. Everyone's always talking about it, but that's where you get to see it. And like, it's that whole feeling. Like, I don't know if you got this as a kid when you'd be somewhere and you're like, ooh, like, I'm not supposed to be here, you know? Kind of like going behind the counter of a store that you don't work at. It's like, you know, it gave me that feeling as a kid, and it was very like whoa, like there's no supervision. I gotta like do what I gotta do. I think my favorite version of this area is also an Outbreak. It's just a little more fleshed out, but it's essentially the same. Don't know about Resident Evil 0. They kind of took a lot of weird liberties, but yeah, I love this tram area. I think of it as a very iconic place, and it has one of the best music tracks in the whole game. The one that's playing right now. And here we have the final room that I want to mention. Again, there's a bed. Ada's in here just recovering. You got all these cool computers, and like there's lockers. I always thought that these were security cameras, especially because this is a security office. Let's see, can I examine? Nope. We'll just say they are, because I mean, what else would they be? But I like here because it's a safe room, so you feel safe, and you can like lock the door, but you can look outside through these blinds or these windows and see who's coming, which is always a good thing. There's a little mini fridge over here, so I'm assuming there's probably someone's leftover lunch that, you know, they're not going to eat it, so you might as well keep your strength up. Maybe I just think too much about like the logistics, because the amount of running and fighting that you would have to do, you'd be so exhausted, you'd need to rest, you know. And it sucks because like you got to get going, especially, you know, they don't know there's a bomb coming to destroy the city, but there is, and you're kind of on a time crunch. Any last words before we move on to Resident Evil 3, Ada? Okay, now this is a little different from the other places. I can't really explain why, but this little section leading up to the hospital, I I love it. I find it so interesting. Hey, look, it's the Mr. Bean car again. See, that's the magic of like Resident Evil environments and the whole fixed camera thing is you could stop and just examine everything and you will find something cool that you didn't like notice before. But I don't know. I feel like I always wonder if these cars weren't in the way, like where could I go and what streets would these lead to? Which realistically, you know, I'd be climbing over cars to get the hell out of here. But you know, Resident Evil logic. And I also wonder how these cars got here. Like, how did they get smashed together like that? Why are these boxes here? Like, I mean, I know it's like, you know, to prevent the player from moving, but I really like this area. Plus, the rain just delivers a really nice like atmosphere and ambiance. And since we're right next door, I love the park. Oh, hold on, let me give myself the key that I need. There we go. The main gate key was the park key. Oh, I forgot about these guys. Let me just take care of them real quick. By the way, did you know you could blow these up? Another very proud ink ribbon discovery. Let's see if I can kill one of them with it. Okay, let me just reset the area to make it look pretty. Okay, so here we are at the park, and you know, you got these nice fountains. You don't really see fountains anymore, you know, ever since people realize, oh, we're wasting a lot of water, which is sad because fountains are nice and relaxing. Remember when there was like fountains at malls? Remember when there was malls? But I like this. Like I could see people sitting here, and I guess maybe there would be ducks if it wasn't raining. I don't know. This little walkway that leads nowhere. How about right here? Wow, look at that. Look at that view right there. Does this not look like a place you want to like meet a friend for coffee and be like, "Hey, I'll meet you at that park and then we'll go grab that coffee from wherever by the police department." God, I love it so much. I mean, this is like atmospheric. I'm like feeling so many emotions. Like it's like I'm playing the game for the first time, especially because I don't usually get to see this view because I never come up here, because any Resident Evil player knows there's nothing up here. There's no reason to. Now we stop at Grill 13, or restaurant. I'm starting to realize a pattern about myself once again. There are places to sit, there's food, and there's drinks. I guess I know what pleasures I enjoy in life. Oh, there's a phone booth. Kids today have no idea. There was payphones everywhere in the 90s and before. And then they're just not there anymore. But see, there's like environmental storytelling here too, because see, these tables I don't think were pretty occupied, but then here you see there's unfinished food. That's a Playboy magazine right there. What? So yeah, someone's trying to drink their coffee and look at porn, and all hell breaks loose. You know, there's some broken glass on the floor. They probably dropped something. You see the register is a mess. Oh my god, that's so funny. I never noticed that. So see that little tray right there? I know it looks like an iPad, but that's a tray. In Japan, I don't know if other countries do this. So in America, you usually just put the change or your cash money, whatever, into the person's hand. In Japan, they give you that little tray and you put your money on the tray, and then they take the tray and then do what they got to do, and then they give you back your change on the tray. So that's not correct as far as American whatever goes, but there's a little fun fact for you. But see over here, I mean, people were, again, coffee. There's someone's bag right there. There's also a bag right here. By the way, how do you get into this booth? Someone did, because there's 3 cups. And then you got the kitchen back here, which, again, that feeling of like, oh, I'm not supposed to be back here. I remember as a kid, I was like, is this what the back of like kitchens at restaurants are like? I was like, whoa. It's too bad you can't go like into the kitchen through here. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I like the restaurant. Sue me. Now this is the final room that I want to talk about. There's so much to unpack when you look in this room. I mean, just standing here, we got a dead, I think he's a UBCS, he might be Army, I don't know. And then there's another dead guy, and then there's a dead Mr. X next to a guy that was crushed by, I guess, the tank that Mr. X was in when he was delivered. And then it's like, were they dropping these all over the place and then they dropped a whole bunch of them here, or was it a separate shipment? Because we know the one that was dropped in the RPD. And then you have here Mr. X mutated, which happened when he was dropped into lava. So it's like, what happened here that made him mutate the same way? And then you got another dead guy, maybe even two. It's kind of hard to tell. By the way, this is like the HD upscale version, so like there's going to be some weirdness. Look over here. You got this dead guy who looks like he's dressed like Carlos. It might actually be Carlos's model. And you got this dead guy here. There's a rocket launcher right there that I guess didn't help. Look, you got a dead guy right here. He's got a sniper rifle. Got a dead guy and what looks like another Mr. X right there. And then you got the most famous Mr. X smushed underneath this giant railgun cannon thing. Plus, why is there just randomly a railgun cannon thing in this room pointed at machinery? Like, there's a lot here. I don't understand. I'm sure that the files help explain something, but I don't really like this room in the sense of I want to be in this room. I like this room in the sense of there's a lot of lore to unpack. So there you go. Those are some of my favorite rooms in the first Resident Evil games, the first 3. If you'd like me to continue this and talk about ones in other games, I'd be happy to. I don't know how interesting this is unless you're a Resident Evil fan, but I would also love to hear what your rooms are, your favorite rooms in the first 3 Resident Evil games are, because I'm sure we're all going to have different answers for different reasons. I apparently want to sit down and drink and eat when there's a zombie outbreak going on. Thank you to Resident Evil Fan on the Discord server for submitting that to the suggestion box, which, by the way, our Discord server is like, it's a cool place to hang out if you don't have like an online home. I'm there, but I'm a lurker, just so you know. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that that was entertaining. And until next time, I'm Kai Morgan. And as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon. And a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your extra support means the world to me and helps me keep making content for you guys.